As we enter the final stages of the COP26 summit, we're asking what this means for procurement and supply chain. So far, we've seen some good intention and some promises, but we've yet to see how these will translate into real tangible actions. The reality is that governments will struggle with the enormity of what actually needs to happen in order to be able to keep us below that 1.5 degree temperature rise figure. So what does this mean for procurement? Well, we know that about 60% of emissions need to be tackled in the supply base, typically in a company. So we're going to have a lot of work that we need to do in coming years to be able to tackle that. And the reality is we have been used to driving prices and cost out of our supply base. We're now faced with prices rising, not just because we're in an inflationary time, but because the cost of being able to address emissions in our supply base will be huge. And that means as procurement professionals, we're going to now need to sell a new type of business case, which is about investing in helping to develop our supply base. How do we do this? Well, it's not difficult. Clearly, we need to sell the benefits, but one of the biggest benefits are the pre-financial benefits. In other words, the future cost if we do nothing. The cost if we then have future carbon taxes or the company is held to be account for the level of emissions in its supply base. It will take time to drive change, and if we're not ahead of that, there could be a future cost burden on the business. So one of the biggest sells internally is avoiding the pre-financial burden that we have. And the other one is we need to be able to tell the story of how intervention in the supply base to drive out emissions will help meet new corporate targets and help position our organization where it needs to be for the future.